The FDA has approved a blood test that can identify pregnant women who are at risk for developing severe preeclampsia, which is a form of high blood pressure that could be deadly during pregnancy. The condition impacts 1 in 25 pregnancies and disproportionately impacts Black women who have a rate of preeclampsia that is 60% higher than white women. For more on what could potentially be a big advance in the field of obstetrics, let's bring in Chief Medical Officer at Verywell Health and board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist, Dr. Jessica Shepard. Dr. Shepard, great to see you. Thanks for being with us. So let's just start by telling us about how this blood test works and who can benefit from it.
Well, I think that you've said that this is something that impacts 1 in 25 pregnancies, and we're seeing it more in Black women, is that we now have the ability with this blood test to really give us a better depiction of, is there preeclampsia, how to diagnose it earlier, because many times preeclampsia is diagnosed late. And the impact of preeclampsia is not only going to be maternal, but also towards the fetus. So we're seeing, again, this is going to be able to help the outcomes for pregnancy and even after delivery, which you can still have some complications from preeclampsia.
And doctor, of course, preeclampsia has been in the spotlight recently following the death of track star Tori Bowie, who died during childbirth. Her death really shining a light on the disproportionate maternal mortality rate among Black women in America. Why is there such a disparity?
Now, there's so much of a disparity, not only to do with things such as preeclampsia, and again, things that we see that are preventable, but we're also seeing the social impact of how women may not have as many resources, and also the interaction between providers and pregnant women of what's being missed, what's not being heard, and how we're going to be able to decrease maternal mortality by looking at it all inclusive rather than just a disease state, rather than just a social issue. There's so many factors, and I think that that's why we need to really band together instead of just looking at it from one perspective.
Dr. Shepard, what can pregnant people do hearing this to help prevent preeclampsia? And also, what happens if you do develop the condition?
Now, preeclampsia is, again, something that we see commonly in pregnancy, and it has a lot of symptoms that can go anywhere from swollen hands, swollen feet, a headache, and change in vision. But the real key is being able to use things such as high blood pressure, but also proteins that you may have in urine. And sometimes it's hard to detect, and sometimes it's hard to, again, prevent it from getting very severe in pregnancy. So this blood test really is key because it's looking at 2 proteins put out by the placenta, again, to determine if preeclampsia is present. So we're going to be able to use, again, some of the fetal part of placenta, and that's a very big part of pregnancy, and where we're seeing, again, the vascularity issues with preeclampsia, and able to determine if a mother has it, and then putting all the proactive things that we can do in place to decrease the risk of preeclampsia and also helping the pregnancy.
What are some of those proactive things that expectant mothers can do?
Now, proactively, that's where we see going to the doctor is going to be very helpful, because what we have seen in preeclampsia is that it can come on very quickly, and it can also escalate very quickly. So there needs to be a lot of interaction between the healthcare providers and the patient in order to give them the things that they need in order to detect it early and prevent it from getting more severe. But also things such as if you have high blood pressure prior to pregnancy, is making sure that you're taking your medication, watching your blood pressure, but also noting those symptoms, which I noted before, making sure if you do start to develop them, to talk to your doctor and your healthcare provider right away.
All right, great advice. Dr. Jessica Shepard, thanks for making sense of it all for us.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.